Hey, I'm Chris. I live in Las Vegas and I absolutely love Keytars. Now today I wanted to go back to old school. I used to do videos called Studio Sundays, and it was like every Sunday I would walk around my studio and grab a piece of equipment that I hadn't played for a while and just do a quick demo and explain how the thing works. Now today I thought I'd go back old school and do that same thing. And I picked up an old sequencer that I haven't used in a long time that I really love. And I've got two of these, and they're both from the 1990s. I kind of stepped out of my 80s synthesizer genre to basically play with sequencers from the 1990s. And what I've got today is the Roland MT 120 and the Roland MT 300. Now, what is this guy? It's a sequencer. It's a sound module, and it's basically a studio in a box before there was the DAW. So I'm gonna play two different songs. One is off of a loop pedal using the sounds of my keyboard, and one is gonna be off of this guy. Now, how does this baby work, by the way? Believe it or not, it's a MIDI sequencer. You can hook it up through the little mini in and out on the back to a synthesizer or a MIDI controller. It has its own sounds built in. It has its own drums built in. Now, there's a big difference between the Roland MT 120 and the Roland MT 300. The Roland MT 120 came out in 1993. It's got general MIDI. General MIDI is basically a series of different tones and sounds, about 120. And usually they're all the basics that like any keyboardist would have really loved back in the day when MIDI first came out. So you've got your pianos, you've got basses, you've got strings, you've got trumpet sounds. And then it goes into like effect sounds and weird synth sounds and normal sine wave sounds. I'm not going to go through each and every sound in this guy. And the cool thing about the Roland MT 300 is this dude has got like 300 different tones in it. A lot of them repeat past the 120, but also they're kind of, you can mix around with it. You can do a little bit more editing in this guy than you could do in the 120. But I'm a big fan of the 120 because basically the cool thing about both of these is you burn off of a floppy disk, dude. You take your MIDI information from either your keyboard or your MIDI controller, you burn it all on a floppy disk, and you can play it all back, dude. So, by the way, let's walk around my studio real fast just to show you what this place is looking like. And then I will go back into these MIDI sequencers. So, just so you can get a picture of my Keytars. These are all my Keytars with no necks. And then I've got a lot of 80s stuff here mixed in with the newer stuff. And I might have a doll or two that plays Keytar. This is the Roland MT 120. This is what we're going to be playing today. And it's hooked up to my Juno Stage. One of my favorite performance keyboards, by the way. And you might notice her, that's Lady Gaga, just for a little inspiration. And I love this guy. This is a Suzuki electronic piano. And you know I put some rainbow rope around it just so it looks pretty groovy. All of those happen to be my Korg Vocas. All in a row. Look at that monstrosity. Look at that terrible like spaghetti chord, like chords all over the joint. A little bit more inspiration. Gem and the Holograms from the 1980s, all displayed. Look, there's Kimber there playing her guitar. And of course, you know you gotta represent the Misfits. You know they are better. And they're gonna get her. That's the Misfits. And over here, just a couple little, you know the Barbie movie came out. You know there was a Barbie with the Keytar. You know I had to get her. Just for a little bit more inspiration. There we go, another Barbie 80s edition with the Keytar on the side, very pop star 80s. That is a Behringer clone. I'm not the biggest fan of Behringer, even though I wanted to play with their clones. And well, another Behringer clone. This guy is the MS-01. This is a clone of the Roland SH-101, I believe. Pretty groovy. I could only get like video game sounds out of it though. That is my Roland Lucina. And of course, I have a couple of other Roland like products right here that I really like, and of course a whole bunch of like random wireless MIDI, and I even got an old school boombox up top. So let's get back to the Roland MT120 now. The cool thing about the Roland MT120 is it's a MIDI controller. It's a MIDI controller's best friend, basically. And you can use it to mix and basically you could create a whole album on the thing if you wanted to. Oh, by the way, just so we can see, right there is a loop pedal. I've recorded 2 songs, one in the Roland MT120 and the other one in the loop pedal, so you can hear the basic difference and the difference in the chip. Now, what do I mean, the chip? Well, basically, dude, there is a computer sound chip in this guy. If you're ever into chip synth or chip wave, it's going to sound like the same sounds that they used and the same chip that they used on different video game systems. So I've noticed whenever I try to mix music off of this guy, it sounds like video game music. But let's get back to what this guy sounds like. So, oh, actually, let me show you what the back looks like first. So, other than turning this guy upside down and around to show you what it looks like, this is the Roland MT300. It's almost the same design. This one came out in 1998. So the other one, 1993, this one, 1998. It's pretty much the same setup. In the front, you have your stop, you have your play, you have your record, backward and forward. You have 5 different tracks, but you can use 16 different channels in order to record on those tracks. The R is the rhythm track. The number 1 is track 1, usually a piano sound, honky tonk, harpsichord, whatever you want to play as the piano sound. Oddly enough, track 2 can play track number 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 11 through 16. All recorded on track 2. And then track 3 and 4 is basically track 3 and 4. You have what's it? I'm reading backwards, dude. This guy, the A and B, and that can be used as a loop. I'm going to show you how to make a quick loop, and that's basically it. You can transpose this guy. You can increment and decrement on this guy to scroll through your different settings. And the back, which is really, really groovy, you've got your right in and out. You've got that is it. You can control it with the pedal. You have your MIDI in and out. That's for a microphone. Let's see. You could also plug in either a vocal mic so you could sing along with it, or again, you could plug in a Keytar or another guitar to play along with it. Same with the MT120. So I'm going to play 2 different songs that I've written, and you're going to hear the difference of the sounds of the Roland MT120, and you're going to hear the song played off of the keyboard, the sounds of the keyboard on the loop pedal. So first, this is a classical piece I wrote. It's just me playing with classical. It's not really a classical piece. I threw drums on the bottom and then I'm playing classical music on top. But I'm going to show you how I cooked it into this sequencer, okay? So let me play it on the regular keyboard. Let's find a harpsichord sound. Let's see. Harpsichord, there we go. Harpsichord, and I think I had a pop beat on this guy. Yes, pop. Here we go. Again, let's play it on the keyboard. Ooh, this is fun. Ha 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 ha. All right. That's what it sounds like in the keyboard. But on this guy, this is what it sounds like. Oh, by the way, let's just play these two tracks. This is the piano track. This is the rhythm track. I'm going to do a loop at the end of this so you can see me record in real time, which might be a big mistake, but let's see how that works out. There we go. Trumpets. And you could take off whatever you don't want to listen to. Okay, let's do it one more time, and I'm going to take off a part so you can hear them individually. Let's take off the drums. Let's take off the piano. That's the strings. That's the trumpets. And I forget what's up there. Oh, that's the trumpets, that's strings. I added something. Oh, a bass line. Number 2 is a bass line. Let's hear the bass line. There's the bass line. One more time. Again, 6 different parts all together, layered on top of each other. It's a pretty cool sequencer, and it's all using the sounds out of this guy. Now, let's listen to that again. But,